episode of the Alumni Interview Series with the Muldoon Center, where we interview GCU alumni about their experience in the entrepreneurship program. Our guest today is Nicki Mlakar, an alumnus of the class of 2019. Nicki, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you for joining us. Can you give the viewers a bit of background about yourself, where you're from, how you wound up at John Carroll, and what you're up to now?
Sure. So I grew up in a suburb outside of Cleveland, so about 20 minutes south. It's called Valley View. I went to Walsh Jesuit High School. And while there, I really fell in love with the Jesuit tradition. So I knew when I was looking for colleges that I wanted to go to a Jesuit college. I wanted to really discover what it meant to be a woman for others. And faith is really important to me. So I wanted to go to a place that would help nourish my faith and really kind of help me put it into action. Not to mention, John Carroll has a stellar business program. So I knew I wanted to go into business. I wasn't sure exactly what facet, but I knew that I wanted to apply to the Bowler College of Business. I graduated in 2019, as you mentioned, and I studied human resources and business management. Then post grad, I did a year of service. I went through an organization called Passionate Volunteers International, or PVI, where I lived in Mandeville, Jamaica, and worked with the marginalized communities there. Our main goal was really just to build relationships and to foster connections. It was wonderful. And actually, John Carroll introduced me to this organization because rewind to my freshman year in 2015, I did a mission trip through the immersion program and I was there for 10 days. So it was a great introduction for me and clearly left a big imprint on my heart that I decided to then do a year there. And currently, I work at a company called Glavin Industries, and I'm their human resource manager, and I do all their day-to-day accounting.
That's great. Thank you for that background on yourself. While you were at John Carroll in undergrad, what drew you to take an entrepreneurship course?
So I'm actually a legacy student. So my mom went to John Carroll and my brother went to John Carroll. And that actually kind of deterred me in some ways to go to John Carroll. I remember being like, I'm going to pave my own path, do my own thing. And I went on my tour and I loved it. Right, go figure. But my brother did the entrepreneurship minor and he encouraged me to take a class. He was like, Nick, you're going to love the professors. They have so much wisdom and they're so supportive. And not to mention, entrepreneurship, it's creative, it's exciting, it encourages you to really think outside the box. And I certainly wanted to challenge those skills. And so my senior year, I took my first entrepreneurship course. Entrepreneurship, it was 201. And my only regret is not taking a class sooner and not taking more classes.
So, what ways have you been able to apply what you learned in entrepreneurship to your current role at Glavin Industries?
It's a really good question. I think when I look back and I reflect on my takeaways from my class that I took, there's three that really stand out to me. Um, the importance of good presentation skills, how teamwork and collaboration can be so powerful and how they really can have some amazing outcomes, and the importance of thinking outside of the box and getting a little creative. So for me personally, I'm reminded of these concepts daily. I put them into practice quite literally every day. So in regards to presentations, I'm talking to coworkers daily, whether that's providing them with information about their benefits, HR trends, legal compliances, the list goes on. And also we have meetings really regularly that I'm leading. So I just personally think no matter what field that you go into, good presentation and communication skills is key. And it's really going to set you apart and really allow you to be the most effective and efficient coworker that you can be. Teamwork, I think, is another huge concept that we really honed in on and put into effect. So for my class in particular, we were assigned to a group and we met really throughout the whole semester. And our goal then at the end of the semester was to present a product or service that would help alienate a pain that we saw in the world. And I just continuously learned and realized and saw it unfold that collaboration provides the opportunity for you to really build off of one another. So I think about in my own day to day life now, we meet regularly as managers, and we actually set a time each week to meet intentionally to go over whatever we need to discuss, whether that's where we see where we could be saving money, where we think training needs to be had, what events we want to do to build camaraderie, all those types of things. And each week when we come together, what I think is so fascinating is how we all come with these different perspectives and viewpoints. So we all have our own twist and own ideas, and I think that just really makes for beautiful outcomes. And then lastly, thinking outside the box, I'm finding that day in and day out, a lot of my job is troubleshooting. And I think no matter what department you're in, you're going to have those situations that arise, or you're going to be constantly thinking about, like, how can I be more effective, more productive within my current role? And this course that I took in entrepreneurship really emphasized the importance of thinking outside the box and creating these custom solutions to solve various pains. And I do that daily. So,
Absolutely, those were all like a lot of great takeaways to take out of those entrepreneurship classes and then to apply to your life and career. That's all great stuff. Nikki, I've only got one more question for you. If you had to make a pitch for why a JCU student should take the entrepreneurship minor, what would it be?
so my very first class, the first day, my professor said this. He said, when I was in Honduras, I brought, those like styrofoam, um, shipping, packing. They use it to essentially like protect different items that are fragile and things of that sort.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm talking about? Yeah.
absolutely.
So he said when I was in Honduras, I put those on every single student's table, and he said, "What do you think this could be used for?" And he said it was unbelievable because they didn't know what they were, right? They didn't know. And he said the list went on and on and on. And he was amazed at the creativity and at the thoughtfulness and at really the great ideas that were chatted about. And so, in my personal opinion, if you want to be stretched, if you want to learn to think outside the box, if you want to learn to work well with other individuals in a team and to really create those custom solutions, then this course or this minor is for you.
Nikki, that sounds like a great pitch to me. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your experience of the minor with us.
Thank you so much.